The following is a media release from Palestine Solidarity Network Aotearoa dated 31st December 2025. Government urgently needs to join international condemnation of Israeli suspension of aid organizations in Gaza. Palestine Solidarity Network Aotearoa says the government urgently needs to join international condemnation of Israel's suspension of dozens of humanitarian organizations, including Doctors Without Borders, which provide food, water, and medical services for Palestinians in Gaza. This is a death sentence to thousands more Palestinians in Gaza, says PSNA Co-Chair John Minto. Minto continues, with Western countries distracted by New Year celebrations, Israel has decided to dramatically tighten its stranglehold on aid to Gaza. Only 20% of the aid agreed to under the so-called ceasefire agreement has been allowed in. Israel's aim is to deepen the humanitarian crisis to make it easier to expel Palestinians from Gaza. Its latest plan is to banish them to the rebel state of Somaliland, a country which is recognized only by Israel. This is all the more reason for New Zealand to speak out now before the ban is due to take effect this Thursday. There is a new government pattern which started with a negative vote in the United Nations on recognition of Palestine earlier in the year, says Minto. New Zealand has now abandoned standing with other Western countries who have condemned Israel's refusal to allow full resumption of humanitarian aid into Gaza, which Israel agreed to under the deal of October the 10th. End quote. In a joint statement, Britain, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Iceland, Japan, Norway, and Switzerland have stated, quote, as winter draws in, civilians in Gaza are facing appalling conditions with heavy rainfall and temperatures dropping, end quote, and demands Israel increase the flow of aid. Minto asks, quote, why did New Zealand not sign that letter? New Zealand was also unmoved by the appeals from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs earlier in December. Israel has ignored these repeated UN appeals, and New Zealand has conveniently looked the other way. And while Trump has just said Israel is 100% compliant with the ceasefire terms, he and our government too have ignored the fact that Israeli forces have already directly killed more than 400 Palestinians during the ceasefire. End quote. Signed, John Minto, Co-Chair, PSNA.